In the previous video, I talked about cracks and kintsugi and how to simulate it using Voronoi texture. I also gave a file to replicate it in Blender. But if you want to learn the full tutorial of it, this tutorial is for you. So in this tutorial, I'm going to explain how to do it from scratch in Blender, and you will be able to change all the other aspects of it as well. So here we go. Alright, so we are in Blender now. So as you can see, this is a vase or vase or whatever you pronounce it. So this is this. And now what we are going to do, the thing that we did, the kintsugi thing, we're going to do it in shader. So that's why we are going to click on this new material, right? So now what we're going to do is make kintsugi in this. So first thing what we need is Voronoi texture, because that's the base of it, right? That's the base of everything. So here we have the Voronoi texture. Now we are going to actually see the Voronoi. Okay, before that, let's just make a basic color of this, like I guess this, and make it a bit shiny. All right, as you can see, it's looking like ceramic, right? Maybe a little bit. Okay, I guess it looks good. Anyway, so yeah, so now what we want to do is we're going to add the cracks in it, right? So for that we have Voronoi texture. So in order to see, because we have to first see what we're doing before putting everything, so in order to see, we are going to connect it here. You can actually connect it like this, or you can just, you know, Ctrl plus shift and then click on whatever you want to connect, which is, I guess, in Node Wrangler. So you might want to you know, go ahead and add Node Wrangler from here, right? So wait, let me just show you. Yeah, it is enabled. So that's how you do it. Ctrl plus shift plus clicking, and you would just go there. Anyway, we're going off topic. So right now, as you can see, this is the kind of texture it has, and if you can see it clearly, it does have that kind of texture that we needed right in the beginning, that the organic cell, Voronoi cell kind of texture that we were talking about. If you can see it clear, like, it is really dull, but basically that is the kind of texture we have here. So what we want to do for the cracks, we don't want this kind of texture, we wanted the opposite of it, right? So these lines, I don't know if you can see it, the lines, the edge lines are what we want. So for that, we can do all the other stuff that we talked about, like, you know, making it tighter by brightness and contrast or other stuff. But we actually do have something here. There are features, so that F1, F2, smooth F1, these are the kind of like the way we are calculating Voronoi. So this is the basic one, the F1, like we are just calculating the distance to the closest point, and this is, we are calculating this to the second closest point, so it will look like this. But anyway, we have something that we really need, which is distance to edge. So it would just calculate the, you would get the edges from this, right? So this is the simplest way. You can just, like, it is already looking like that drought thing that we were talking about before. But anyway, so this is the kind of thing that we needed. And then after that, what we're gonna do is make it tighter, right? Because it still shows a little bit gradient, but we just want these lines. So for that, what we are going to do is taking the color ramp, because color ramp is what gives us the range. You can restrict the range from this. So if we pull that white one way here, as you can see, it is almost looking like cracks, right? And here you can tell, the more you know, you would put it on the right side, it would tell it that this is the minimum of thickness it would have. Like, you can think of it like this. So if I'm putting it like here, this is the minimum thickness it would have, and then it would just be almost about here. So if you want really thin cracks, that's what we are going to do, like putting it here. So now it is kind of looking like cracks, right? Great. So this is the first part, and which is really simple to put, right? So this is the first part. We are done with the cracks. So now what we want to do is actually, first of all, if you want these cracks, if you just want cracks, what you can do actually is, select it again, right? You can select it again, and if you just want cracks, you can use this normal node and use bump node here, and then take this color and put it on a height. Now we are actually giving it that this is the kind of mask we are using to produce the bumps, or dents and bumps that we want. So yeah, basically this is exactly what we wanted, right? So this is the cracks. If you want it even really small cracks, you can have it like this, and you will find these kind of cracks, right? Now what we want to do is actually we want to take this this mask, and we want to put another material on it. So for that, we actually get another material. Let's just copy this, duplicate this, and make it another material. So we are going to make it a golden material, right? So this is basically, if it is golden material, let's just let's just keep it like this right now. Okay, so now what we want is this material and this material to mix, right? Because we are going to show both material at the same time. So for that, what we're going to do is getting the mix shader, right? So we are going to take both of these shaders, both of these principled BSEF, and putting it into this, and we are going to add this. Now as you can see that now it looks like it has been mixed, like the colors have been mixed. That is not what we want. What we want is we want this thing in the cracks and this thing on all over the body. So what we want and what we can do is take this and put a mask here. So basically in Mix Shader, or in a lot of different places, this thing is what it tells it tells that, okay, this is the places this is kind of like a mask thing, right? Because we are giving it a mask, and it would tell that that on the mask you would put this material, on the white part of the mask you would put this material. So basically this is what it is. It is just telling the material where the material should go according to the mask. So this is the mask we made. So what we're going to do is put it here. So now as you can see, we are done with, not done, but we got something, and it is looking like Kintsugi art, right? Now here's the thing, Kintsugi art actually, ideally it is actually covering the cracks, right? But a lot of time what happens is that it is actually bumpy, right? This is not going to be only inside the crack, it will be outside the crack. So that's why we need to make it outwards instead of inwards. So we are going to invert the cracks. Instead of making a crack, it would just be bumpy, right? So for that, what we can do is come here, and this bump that we made, we're going to invert it so that now it would just show bumpiness instead of like cracks. So as you can see, now it looks more like bumpy instead of crack, right? All right, so now that it is done, what we can also do is, like, as you can see, this material, this gold shader, it looks great. No, don't get me wrong, but it should have a little bit of texture, right? It has that grunge kind of like grainy texture on it. So that's what we are going to do. So what we can do is actually come up here, and this is the material, right? So we can come up here and we can have noise texture for that. So we are going to take the noise texture and we can put it on roughness. And also we can also put it here by putting it on bump, putting in a height on the bump, and then putting it here. All right, so right now it is hard to see what's happening because the scale is different. So if you change it, as you can see, something is happening. And if you make it really large, you can see that it is becoming the grain that we wanted. So right now it is a little bit too grainy. I don't know how to call it, but it is looking kind of ugly. So for that, I guess what we can do is change the other things. Like, for example, if we put the detail to 15, then it will look a little better. And then if we change the roughness, as you can see now, it is looking much better, right? So this is the kind of so and you can change a little bit more from there, from here. So yeah, as you can see now, this is looking much better, right? And if you don't want it, you can just change it. It is up to you. If you don't want it to change the roughness, you can just remove it from here and it will look like this, and you can change it from your side, but it is up to you what you want to do with it. So I'm just gonna put it here. So now it is looking great, right? It is actually almost done, and you don't have to do anything more than that. But if you want to go even a little bit more, what you can do is actually, like, first of all, let's just talk about this. These kintsugi art, or even the cracks, they are not supposed to be this straight. Like, ideally the cracks are not supposed to be these kind of like straight lines. Sometimes they are like jagged or something like that. So right now it's not a big deal. I mean, it still looks good, but if you do want to make it a little bit more realistic, what you can do is actually mix this with noise texture. So what we are basically doing is mixing the noise so that these does not look like straight lines. So that's why we can add a mix node here, mix color node, right? So if we connect both these and then change it to linear light, I guess, and then change these, and then obviously connect this. I forgot to connect. Yeah, as you can see, it has significantly changed it. Right now it is looking really dumb, but we can change it here. So first of all, let's just make it really small because we don't want it too much. So let's just make it I guess 0.1. It is still too much, but we will change that later. So right now, if you change a little bit things here, like if you change the detail, if you change the roughness, and I think that is probably where it would change. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. So if you change these things, and yeah, so it is a bit like you have to experiment with it, like you have to see what works for you. But I'm going to like I'm going to put better settings here. All right, as you can see, it has gotten a little better right now. If you want to copy these values, you can, but I would suggest that you experiment that for yourself. But anyway, so this is the kind of thing that we have right now. It is looking a bit thicker now, but we can change it later, don't worry about it. So the next thing that we can add here is kind of blobs. Actually, there is already one, but if you want to add more blobs, what you can do is add a musgrave texture. So now what you can do is take this and add a mix color node again, so that you can mix it with this. There you go. And now you would just connect this with color, and now I don't know why it's taking too much time. All right, so it looks worse, but we can change it here. One thing I noticed while I was experimenting on it is that this hybrid multi-fractal, this heteroterrain, I mean, this actually works better on it. So I changed it to that, and then I changed a little bit of values here. We can actually make a video about, like, I can make a video about musgrave texture as well, so that I can understand it but much better. But right now, for now, let's just make it like a simple thing, right? So if we change a bit of values, it's just making it too much. Okay, I understand what's happening. You have to actually change. We are going to change it to overlay. All right, so right now nothing is happening, but if I increase it, as you can see, these kind of bumps that are happening, these are sometimes on the kind of kintsugi art you have, right? So these kind of bumps that are having, these are sometimes there. You don't have to use it, but there's always an option. That's what I'm trying to say. So we can put it really, we can just make it disappear right now. It's just for a suggestion. So right now it is looking like this. It got a little bit thicker. So for that, if you remember, we changed this so we can make it thicker here. But as you can see, now now you cannot control it that much. So for that, I actually came up with a workaround. What I can do actually is get an invert node, because what invert node does is that it inverts the color, right? So what we can do with that is, right now, as you can see, that it is gone completely. Yeah, so what we can do is actually make it really small, and right now with 0 it is just like normal, but we can change it, and it changes the thickness a little bit more. What you can do is hold shift and then change it, then you can get even fine control. So you can make it really thin if you want. And one more thing that it does is that it makes it disappear as well. So that's actually, it depends on you. Maybe you wouldn't like it, but sometimes it is actually desirable, because kintsugi art is just not like all over the ways or walls or whatever. But anyway, so right now, as you can see, if I keep decreasing, we get back to the normal, and I guess this looks better, and maybe I can make it even more. And as you can see, that it looks great, right? And last thing, we can always come here and make it bigger if you want, but it changes a little bit of things, so you have to be careful with it. But anyway, that's kintsugi art. So I guess If you liked it, that's great. But yeah, you can obviously take the file that I talked about and use it directly. You don't have to do all of that things. This time it is free because it is not that much difficult or effort. So that's why I made it free on Gumroad. But you can download it, or you can just watch this tutorial and learn it however you want to do. But anyway, so that's it for the tutorial. I'll be back with more videos, so stay tuned.